Hello Taurus, welcome to your reading for the end of July 2026, probably around the last week of July, maybe last 1 to 2 weeks. Okay. It's going to be general, so if something doesn't resonate, just leave that for someone else. And let's welcome in any archangels, ascended masters, light beings, star beings, our higher selves, and any animal, ancestral, or dragon guides, or any other spirit guides that you feel resonant with, Taurus. Six of Cups and the Sun. Seven of Swords, Four of Pentacles. There could be something from your past that you've been thinking about recently, Taurus. And they're sort of memories of something that made you feel happy, possibly, okay? Some happy memories that maybe you are dwelling on a bit at the moment. It could be from your childhood or from your teenagehood. There's something you're thinking about that's sort of, putting you in a high frequency mode or mood here. Let's have a look here. You also have the Enchanter or the Magician. Five of Cups. Yeah, and I think there was something about this experience that was, there could have been something about it that, kind of left you out in the cold a little bit, or sort of, there was something, maybe it sort of went south, or maybe you had a friend and they ended up having to move away. Maybe you had lots of good times with this friend as a child, and maybe you had to move away, or they moved away, or something to that effect. And I think maybe there's something about this experience that may have made a large imprint on you. And it may still be affecting you today as an adult. I feel like this Magician here is you kind of tapping into some connections that, as an adult, some connections that you may have still had with this past memory, which had its positives. But there's also some negatives in there that I think you are looking closely at the moment. And the general theme here, I think, is that with this moon, I think you're sort of uncovering. You have the moon and the Five of Wands here. So I think you are looking at doing some work on your subconscious here, Taurus. There's something that you are wanting to investigate, to learn, to kind of look at, or almost confront, okay? It could be a part of yourself, or something about a belief or your life, something about your life. Maybe there's a habit or something that you've been doing that you're looking, that you feel that has sort of, I guess, origins in this experience from the past, okay? Which could, have been of disappointment as well. But there was, like I said, there was a very positive aspect to it, but also a lower vibe, negative aspect. So you're kind of, this is like looking like the underlying themes that you're doing some work on the subconscious. So maybe you are really looking closely at your inner motivations, your underlying motivations for maybe some thought patterns or ways of doing things, or ways of behaving that you're questioning about yourself at this time. And general direction moving forward, here's the Seven of Swords, which is a little bit like, looks like, the way it's faced down here, sort of moving backwards. But the interesting thing is, what he's looking at here is that there's some things from the past that perhaps didn't work, or actually these are the two things here, okay, from the past that you are wanting to let go of. which we've just mentioned. It has to do with this past experience in your childhood or as a teenager. There's something about that, Taurus, that you're wanting to let go of. But there is some learning or some takeaways as well from that situation, and I think you're working out what they are. It's interesting that even though this is sort of symbolising, these two cards are symbolising the general kind of direction moving forward, this is sort of very much like just being still. So I think being present, having some exercising your inner gratitude and your ability to experience this high frequency here with the sun, just, naturally, because you are a light being, Taurus. But I think as you are sitting in stillness here and looking at everything that you've done and what you've achieved and having gratitude for what you do have, there's still some beliefs here that you are working on, that you're letting go of. And I think it's these deep things here symbolised by the moon. So this is things that are hidden, that I think that you are literally bringing them up here you're bringing the hidden subconscious things up into your conscious mind to address them, okay? This guy here has got, wands, and there's some frog people, and, experimenting with different ways of transmuting things, okay? I'm not saying that you have to use magical wands, but it's maybe there's some subconscious work or inner child work that you're going to be doing here, Taurus. Let's grab a couple more cards. Hanged Man, yeah, that makes sense. Two of Swords. Yeah, I feel like there's, in some ways, I think you may have felt like you've hit the pause button, Taurus. You're definitely going within. This is an outcome. So if you are, an experience from the past has come up and you're kind of wondering if that's still having an effect on you. And it may well be, because you're kind of going in deep here, mind, body, spirit, meditation. You're using your intuition here, Two of Swords. This is not necessarily something that is that's going to have a logical result, because if we have the Five of Visions here, the Five of Cups, there has been emotions involved, okay? So this is about you contemplating, I think, your emotional well-being. The Hanged Man is also a watery energy, so looking at, that element of water. And also the water chakra, I believe, is the sacral chakra, Taurus. So that one, below the belly button, doing some sacral chakra work could be helpful. Yeah, and I mean, what you may not be aware of is that it is possible to move through this type of thing, and to, it may be hard work at times, Ten of Wands, but this is also signifying, success in moving through challenges of the spirit, challenges. Maybe this experience of the past has affected you in ways that have challenged your creativity. Maybe it's challenged your beliefs or your values in some way. But you're going to come off here, Emperor, as victorious in this investigation of yourself. It's like an inner journey, I feel like, Taurus, you're going on here. And yeah, like I said, sometimes when things are a bit tough and quite challenging, it can feel like it's not going to work out. But the cards are saying that it will work out for you, Taurus, in the end here. And also we're going to add that, doing subconscious work is sometimes not for the faint-hearted, and it can be quite confronting to actually look at oneself, okay? To really have an honest look at oneself, and I feel like that's what you're doing at the moment, Taurus. Wow, King of Cups, Queen of Swords, and Six of Swords. This is really, really great supportive energies, because I feel like, Taurus, you're a very grounded sign, so your ability to, remain grounded and calm here whilst dealing with your own subconscious emotions is going to be of great benefit to you. You're going to be able to make leaps and bounds, I think, here. And also because of the Six of Swords, you are going to move towards a more peace, harmony, and balance as a result of doing this, some subconscious work, okay? So you might like to, look at your dreams. Subconscious work is also what they call shadow work. So you might want to just sort of like Google that, maybe talk to some counsellor or talk to some other people who have been doing something along those lines. And, use your own discernment and seek a professional if you need to. The Queen of Swords is also a really supportive energy on your side, really acknowledging, like we've said, there have been emotions that have been involved in this past experience. So she is, the feminine water of air. So a nice blend of using intellect and decision-making and discernment with that emotional aspect, the creative, emotional kind of expression that you may need to sort of tap into or to release or to access as well here, Taurus. So these are really supportive energies, and I really like how you have the masculine king and the feminine queen here. So this is really, and it's literally in balance. Like you're going to be able to bring those aspects of yourself together as well. Let's look at the bottoms of the decks. 5 of Cups. Yeah, this is the same as the 5 of Visions here. So this is that that disappointment energy or something that you missed out on, which I feel is connected to this past experience. Okay, it's almost feeling as though, Taurus, like it was something that was really fantastic, and then something happened to kind of pull the plug on it, and there was some, maybe strong disappointment around it. Okay, and maybe that affected you in deeper ways. 6 of Cups again, yeah, so this is definitely a nostalgic energy. But Spirit's also saying that when you do subconscious work or shadow work, looking at the inner child can be really helpful as well. Okay, and more often than not, I guess, if we're doing subconscious work, a lot of those events and things that happened would have happened in childhood. So your inner child just really kind of, I guess, this little girl who is here is reading, but maybe doing some journaling or writing, spending some time in nature could be part of the process for you, Taurus, okay? Part of the healing process is what I should say. Queen of Wands, really beautiful, because this is like a very empowered, creative energy. So really accessing your creativity, maybe doing some art or journaling like we've mentioned, finding a craft or something that you can do that takes you into a zone, but also maybe looking at, as a child, what sorts of things did you like to do? What sort of creative or adventurous, explorative things did you enjoy as a child, and maybe sort of revisiting that as well. Yeah, I really like also how there's kind of a connection here. Queen of Wands, she's holding a beautiful big sunflower here, and we had the sun at the start of your reading. So what's just come through is that either now or in the past, there may have been possibly a female figure or someone that was very creative around you in your life, and maybe either speaking to them or tuning into their energy could be helpful as well, okay? Could be a support, or even talking with them, okay? Could be supportive for you as well. 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a really nice balance of, we have Alice in Wonderland here in a garden, we have sunflowers once again. So once again, it's kind of, I think, a nice balance of the inner child and the inner adult. She has a crow on her arm here, so it's sort of like looking at the wisdom that your inner child has to offer you here, Taurus, okay? And also spending time in nature, as we said, but really integrating that inner child aspect with your adult self. Our inner adult can always benefit from talking with our inner child, okay? All right, let's grab a couple of cards from this deck here. Giant Tarot, we have 6 of Pentacles. So, yeah, things 6 is a number of harmony. Okay, harmony and balance. Things will harmonize out. And I kind of like how we have the 2 rows here, which is sort of a little bit echoing the two groups of pentacles here. It's like about your child self and your adult self here coming together, I think, Taurus. We also have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so I think having a learning mindset, being open to discovering something new about yourself, okay? And that is more than likely going to happen as a result of looking at your subconscious here with the moon, and yeah, investigating your inner child. Okay, pages are also a childlike energy. So yeah, let's grab one more. The Ace of Pentacles, yep, new beginning, the element of earth. So for you, Taurus, perfect. You're an earth sign, so really connecting with nature, looking after your health and well-being, because the Pentacles talk about the physical body as well. As you go through this process of looking at your subconscious, as you know, the mind, body, spirit is all interconnected, so making sure that you look after your physical health. On the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Wands, which is really great because it kind of matches in with the Queen here. So for you, Taurus, this could be someone in your past who has inspired you, but it can also be saying that as a result of going through some depth work, your energy and your vitality and your enthusiasm is likely to pick up, okay? So this is fire. The Emperor is also fire here. You may have Aries in your chart as well. So yeah, that's really positive, and, you know, quite empowering as well. This is like a, you know, obviously being able to hold space for your passions and your interests moving forward. So there we have it, Taurus. I feel like, yeah, you probably hit the pause button a little bit on something in your life, but I feel like it's going to be time well spent if you can, you know, really do some mind, body, spirit work, meditation, doing some journaling, art or craft, you know, looking at maybe some counselling, inner child work, all that type of thing, and shadow work, okay? So, yeah. There we have it. I hope that's been helpful. Look forward to your next reading. In the meantime, have a great day, fantastic week. I'll see you again soon. Bye.